Good evening, everybody. Just a couple of reminders before we get going. As a courtesy to your fellow media members, the coaches, and student athletes, please silence your cell phones. Also, a reminder, recording press conference video is prohibited. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conference. We'll have 2 mic runners. Please wait for the microphone to reach you before asking a question. Now joining us are members of the LSU Tigers, head coach Jay Johnson, student athletes Zach Cohen, Luis Hernandez, and Jared Jones. Gentlemen, congratulations on your victory in advancing to the championship series. Coach, we'll begin with an opening statement from you.
Wow. First off, I want to congratulate Arkansas, Coach Van Horn, the staff. Coming here 4 years ago from the West, I just felt like that's the program we always have to catch. And it's just the consistency of talent, fundamentals, competitiveness. They have it all. And so, I just have so much respect for them that this actually means a little bit more, to be honest with you, with the respect for the opponent. But tonight, I said this literally probably 2 years ago to the day, the walk-off homer, Tommy against Wake Forest. Like, I felt something in my body I've never felt before, and greatest moment of my life, and it now has it tied for first with the 9th inning with Jared Jones, line drive over the second baseman's head, Luis Hernandez hustling around second base. I didn't know you could run like that.
Got little wheels.
Little wheels. I would coach this team forever. I've been telling them that probably since March or April. And it's because of the character. And you look at this, and Jared came back with the sole intent of doing what we're doing right now and him being at the front of that, not just as a player that's driving in runs, but as a leader. He's been tremendous in that regard, set the way for the team. We had 0 innings returning behind the plate this year, and somehow God blessed us with Luis Hernandez. And we needed character at that position, and he's a great baseball player. He's a better human being. And then, things are funny how they work out in your life, that we're supposed to play Wofford in the first game of the NCAA tournament, and I spent 5 days preparing for Zach Cowan, and thank God they didn't throw him because he threw like 800 pitches in the conference tournament. But what a performance, what a season. First team All-SEC performer, and delivered, on the biggest stage in college baseball tonight against, one of the 3 best teams. And I think it's pretty cool that rarely does it work out like this. While that game was going on tonight, the 3 best teams in college baseball were still alive, and just excited to prepare for a couple more days, enjoy being together, and go compete for a championship. Because I get to coach guys like this, and they're all across the team, but we're not here without you 3. So thank you for everything you've done, and let's get after it.
We'll open it up to questions for the student athletes.
Jared, can you take us through the at-bats, both the home run and the final at-bat of the game?
I hadn't been seeing Geichel very well this week. He struck me out like 5 times, I think, in 5 at-bats, and it was all on sliders. And my approach is always to be on time for a fastball, and I was lucky enough to get one in the zone and put a good swing on it to tie the game. And then there in the 9th, they brought in Jimenez, and he's a great pitcher. Got to respect his slider, and was able to just kind of stay on it and do just enough to get it over the second baseman's head. And that's about it.
Noah Beanick, 11.7. Question for Jared. Everybody in the nation is going to see the game-winning hit, also the home run. But college baseball circles, a video of you talking with Coach Jay Johnson got a little buzz. What went into that conversation? Because afterwards, you've come up in some really big spots for this team.
Yeah, Coach Johnson and I have had several heart-to-heart conversations throughout my career here at LSU. Most of the time, it's been behind closed doors. Sometimes I wish the media wouldn't even see that kind of stuff, because you almost put so much into it that when it doesn't work out, and if that, then what, So I put so much time and effort into this sport throughout my life. My parents have sacrificed so much to get me to this position. My teammates, I was up like 6th or 7th in the 9th inning, so there had to be a lot that went right for us to even put me in that position. But I'm just super grateful for it all, and wouldn't have it any other way.
Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge. Louise, Jay's talked about you being the unsung hero of this team so often this year. I guess just speak to that at bat that you had. I know you're busy running, right? But then when you see it get away, what were your thoughts, and just what the night meant for you?
I was looking for speed because all day they have thrown me all speed changeups, slider in. So I was looking at all speed that I could handle it, and he'd leave it in the middle and I'd drive it to left field. I'm sorry? What did you see? I think it was a changeup, and whenever he didn't grab it, I started running.
Jerry, just kind of curious, you hit the ball there for the walk-off. Were you watching it? Did you see it tip off of the second baseman's glove, and what was your emotion when you saw that?
Yeah, I did see that. I thought he had caught it, honestly, because it kind of fell in behind him. But then once I saw the ball hit the grass, man, it was just blacked out in the moment, just celebrating with my teammates. I'm super grateful.
Jackson Fuller, Southwest Times Record. Zach, two of your better outings this season have come against Arkansas, regular season tonight. What were you able to do successfully against their lineup both times?
I think it's mainly with sticking with the same mindset and trusting Coach Yeski. Defense made some great plays behind me tonight, and that kind of was the same case in the other game against Arkansas earlier in the year. But, nothing really changed for me, honestly. It's just attacking, sticking with the same mindset and trying to compete.
Zach, if you wouldn't mind leaning into the mic a little bit more, kind of like what Jared said earlier, I know you didn't have the last half of the season that you probably wanted to have. So what does it mean for you to come out and have the success and really give your team such a great outing?
It means the world. It means the world when I have the trust from the coaching staff like I do, and the defense behind me. The second half or last half of the season didn't obviously go as planned, but, it's going out there and competing every time I'm out there, so.
Can I correct you? It was a couple outings didn't go as planned. This guy was the best reliever in college baseball this year.
Luis and Jared, obviously, y'all come up there at the end of the game with 2 outs. Just talk me through your approach there to do what you have to do when your back's against the ultimate wall.
Like what I said, I was looking for all speed, and then he leave it a changeup in the middle, and I drive it to left field.
Just kind of been here before, We've had a lot of these games throughout the season of whether we've had to fight back from being down or, team ties it up late. And we've kind of stuck with it no matter what. There's no clock in baseball. There's 27 outs. And with our offense, it's a tough ask to do. And I'm happy Luis got the job done, and then I'm happy I was able to drive him in.
Noah Bieniek, 11.7. Zach, question for you. In Coach's opening statement, he mentioned a little bit about his prep work going into facing possibly you when you played in the NCAA tournament last year. Can you detail your recruitment to LSU? And also, when did you figure out you were going to get the ball first in today's game?
Going into the portal last year, I had no idea I'd end up here. But, I couldn't be more thankful for this guy to be my head coach and for the guys to be around me that I have around me. And then I kind of found out last night that I was going to get the ball today.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Okay, Zach, Luis, Jared, congratulations again. We'll see you guys in a couple days.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll open up the questions for Coach. A reminder to please state your name and media affiliation.
Jason Patterson, Island CWS. Coach, you've seen this thing from all angles now. Can you speak to the value from your perspective of getting this done tonight versus it going to tomorrow?
Yeah, I steal the line from the movie Hoosiers where the coach talks about you don't look at the next step until you've climbed the one in front of you. And I think that that's really important in tournament play. Once we took the lead, I started managing in a way of like, let's get this game done tonight and put ourselves in the best position possible to be successful this weekend. And what a week for Chase. I mean, he did what he needed to do. We just didn't complete the double play right there. Great job by Jaden Newt. Spectacular job by Zach. And I thought Zach could be successful in this game, successful enough to give us a chance to win late. And he was a starter last year, and so he had extended, and he got us probably 3 more outs than I thought he would, which was huge. And then great job by Jaden Newt. We knew he would pitch in this game. And then Chase, like that's like a very unfair line score right there. And then Jacob Myers, we didn't get the punt. I brought him in to strike out Thomas, who had a ridiculous game, by the way. I mean, that guy's a great player. But then he punched the next 2 guys out to keep it at 5-3. And then the offense did the rest. And it's a huge deal not to have to play tomorrow night. There is nobody happier in the city of Omaha that there will not be a game here tomorrow than Jay Johnson right now.
Jay, I can't tell if you're exhausted or emotional, but you talked at times about this team earns this, deserves this.
Yeah.
I guess, what does it mean to you to get them here?
I mean, I literally am at a loss for words, and there's so many thoughts, and literally it's like, yeah, it's about getting to the ultimate where we're at, and I'm so proud of them for that. But it's literally about getting 5 more days with them, and this is a model team, and there haven't been much of this. I mean, it's been a consistent effort from whatever August 24 first team meeting through the 9th inning tonight. And I mean, think about the walk-off wins we had at home against these guys, against Tennessee, and they just stay with it. The mental toughness is really like nothing I've ever seen before. And the investment in the team. I mean, we got guys that are going to go to pro baseball, but it's all about this. I mean, it's not just a saying. Like at LSU baseball, the expectation of the players, I will always place the needs of the team above my own. And we have so many examples of that. And I'm just really thankful. I mean, if you ask me if I had a word or an emotion, it's just really thankful.
Michael Poggi, KLSU Sports. Everybody's going to talk to you about Luis Hernandez and Jared Jones, but kind of talk about you putting in Jake Brown as they intentionally walk Josh Pearson, try and get that matchup with Stanfield. You do the pinch hit. Talk about that and how big that was in the game.
Well, he's one of our best players, and so it really wasn't a hard decision. And Chris Stanfield's one of our best players. The other night against Gabe, who I said this on Saturday night, he's one of the best pitchers in the entire country. Like, it's not close. I voted for him for SEC Pitcher of the Year in the preseason. Like, that was my pick for a preseason SEC Pitcher of the Year, was Gabe Gackle. And we did not see him at all the other night. I mean, he struck out like 10 guys, very uncharacteristic for our team, and it was mostly right-handers. And Jake's one of our best players too. It was the time to use him. We needed to score right there. And Jake is a really confident player. He's got a good heartbeat. He keeps the game slow, and he's a tremendous competitor. And the exciting part is his best baseball is still out in front of him.
Jackson Fuller, Southwest Times Record. Jay, following up on the Jake Brown, did you expect maybe Arkansas to go to Gibbler, who was getting loose there? And if they would have, were you going to pinch hit again and bring in a righty?
We were not. We were going in the boat, and then it became Gackle against Stanfield or Gibbler against Jake. And there was 2 thoughts going on. Is like, I'm getting one of my best players to the plate. He's been better against left-handed pitching recently. Number 2. Number 3, Gackle was getting pretty close to the point where if we had to play tomorrow, I don't know if they're going to be able to bring him back. And then getting Gibbler in the game, I also thought would give us a little bit of an advantage if the game got pushed to tomorrow, if we had to play tomorrow.
We'll take one more question for Coach.
Aaron Fitt, D1 Baseball. Jay, obviously Jared, had that over 5 punch outs. I mean, for him to bounce back and kind of show some adjustability, today it was pretty impressive. I'm curious, did you have any conversations with him after that, or what did you see from him and his ability to adjust today?
Yeah, I'm really glad he said what he said, and like we have a saying too, like what happens within the team stays within the team. But when you play at LSU, and I'm very thankful for this, our players have the biggest stage in college baseball. And I guess somebody put a video out of us working after practice the other day, and really all we were doing is what we do in Baton Rouge. And it's more just something to get him lined up and in tune with what makes him the best hitter. And then he has the character to be able to go out and do it. And it's been opposite field homer against UCLA, opposite field line drive single against UCLA, opposite field homer tonight, opposite field game-winning single. And it's because he's a great player. And and just being thankful, like, hit 28 homers last year, and managed his zone really well. And somehow pro baseball just missed it. And we got lucky. And you know what? To be here, sitting here tonight, that's how it has to go sometimes. And I'm just really proud of him. He's the one that's done all the work.
Okay, we'll take one more.
You've mentioned some of them already, but can you remember a recent game that seemed like you had to make so many chess moves against what Van Horn was doing and back and forth? Seemed like the whole, last 6-7 innings.
Yeah, well, first off, I said it at the beginning, I'm going to say it again. He's one of the best coaches in college baseball history. And I don't know that there's anybody or a program that I have more respect for. And, we played at Arizona when I was at Arizona twice, 2 really good competitive games. And, coming out here in 21, it was like, it was a feeling like we have to try to catch these guys. And it just seems like we're always trying to do that, whether it's recruiting, on the field, the whole thing. And so, like, this honestly means more to me because of the respect that I have for them. I could talk about it all night. As far as that, we both are very blessed to have great players. And it's not the move, it's the execution of the player in the game. It's the execution of Jake Brown taking one of the hardest guys to hit in college baseball and staying on a ball and hitting it to left field. It's Jared Jones, staying on the ball against Aiden Jimenez, who's had a sensational season. He's a great pitcher too. It's Zach Cowan, going out there and pitching like a warrior and just doing what he's done all year. There's not many places like you wouldn't look at that and go, wait, first team all SEC, and people feel like maybe they're a little bit disappointed. He was getting the ball tonight. It wasn't really a hard decision, in terms of lining up this tournament. And so it's not me, and I'm sure Coach Van Horn would tell you the same thing. It's the players executing. And what a game. I don't know if they do college baseball games or is ESPN Classic, is that like still around? Like they should play that game on loop for a week.
LSU will have their pre-championship series press conference on Friday at 11:30. Coach, we appreciate your time. That'll conclude our press conference tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly.
I know, I just got stuck on the other side of the bracket.
Just standard reminders before we get going. As a courtesy to your fellow media members, the coaches and student athletes, please silence your cell phones at this time. Recording press conference video on cell phones is prohibited. We'll have 2 mic runners in the room. Please wait for the microphone to reach you before asking a question. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conference. Okay, now joining us are members of the Arkansas Razorbacks, head coach Dave Van Horn, student athletes Gabe Gapkel, and Ryder Helfrich. Coach, we'll begin with an opening statement from you.
Yeah, first off, congratulations to LSU. Man, they got a great team. They just kept fighting, and we kept fighting. They took the lead. We came back, took the lead, and then they got us. It'd been nice to win the game, get to tomorrow, see what happens. But, it's baseball. It's a crazy game. Seen it all, I think. But, we played. I feel like we played as hard as we could. Third day in a row. Really wanted to play a fourth. Hoping to get to the weekend, but, it's just the way it ended up. But proud of our team. It's hard to say goodbye. I'm not good at saying goodbyes anyway. Great team, fun team, hard-working team, and probably just team, man. They were a team. You could tell by how emotional they were after the game. It was a lot of heartbreak, maybe because we lost the game, but honestly, probably just because the season's over, and they won't get to be around each other every day. So proud of them, proud of the University of Arkansas.
We'll open it up to questions for the student athletes.
Jacob Runner with Baseball America. For both of you guys, you were pretty quick to go and comfort Charles after the way that the game ended. What are you able to say to a guy like that in that kind of a moment, and what kind of synergy does this team have and togetherness? Why was that so important at the end?
It sucks to say goodbye to everybody, and Charles, he told me, he's like, I'm sorry, and I was like, why are you sorry? We wouldn't be where we are today without him, the way he competes, and he's one of the best hitters and people and just all around best baseball players I've ever been around. So for him to say sorry, it kind of pissed me off because the game's not on him. It's on a team, and that he's one of the greatest to do it here. So
yeah, for me, I love Chuck, and I know he was beating himself up, and there's no doubt in our minds that we're in the position we are without him. Great player and even better teammate, and I'm really gonna miss playing with him.
Questions for student athletes in the back?
Justin Hinkery, 103.7 The Buzz. Gabe, you came back on short rest after your longest outing of the year. Obviously, velocity was good. Had a lot of good moments. How'd you feel? And just kind of walk us through your performance tonight and what you faced.
Felt good. Messed up with 2 pitches, and a good team takes advantage of that. So they got me on those 2, and props to them. They're a good team.
Harrison fan, SEC Unfiltered. Guys, what does it mean to play for a coach like Dave Van Horn? And just, I know you guys are both sophomores, but just what you guys have learned and just how important that's been to you in your careers.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pleasure. Every day you show up, you know what you're going to get. He's by far the best coach I've ever been coached by, and, it's, just excited for next year.
Yeah, I mean, this coaching staff is the reason I came here. The greatest head coach to ever coach baseball, and we got an unbelievable staff. So every day we get to show up and work with him. We're super grateful, and I couldn't thank him enough.
Gabe, Ryder, we appreciate your time. We'll now open it up to questions for Coach.
Dave, Andrew Hutchinson, the Best Arkansas Sports. I wanted to ask you about two plays in the ninth inning. Would you like to have seen Vahiva try to turn the double play on that play? And then also, what was your perspective of Charles's play and left?
Yeah. Well, the way it all turned out, I guess I would have. I haven't talked to him about it. I guess he felt like he moved too far to his right for Cam to turn it. I don't know. He's an average runner. He's not a flyer, but he's not slow either. So I don't know. And then the ball, because I had a straight-on view of it, it was hit hard, obviously, and it was kind of hooking and sinking. But it looked like Charles slipped, like right at the beginning of taking off for it. And then when he slipped, he probably lost sight of it. And when the ball's hit that hard, he was just trying to find it. And I'd have to watch it again. We're a long ways away. That's what I saw.
Noah Beanick, 11.7. Coach, this game just kind of felt like a high-speed chase from the sixth inning on. You just think back to kind of the beginning where a ball just bounces over your third baseman's head on a wacky bounce, and the game just never really slowed down. But I want to know, you mentioned you're not good at saying goodbye. You mentioned that a lot of the guys were feeling a little bit emotional. How do you even begin to address a team in a moment like that?
Well, I just told them, after the game, I told them to get in a little tighter. A lot of guys were distraught. Charles was super upset. And I just told them I appreciate the effort all year and the ride they took us on. And, just told them how much I appreciate them and that we'd talk again later. And I told them 2 months ago that this team needed to finish in Omaha, and they did. It wasn't the way we wanted to finish, but at least they got here. And they competed their rear ends off, lost that first game, then win two, and, looked like we had a third. We're going to get to tomorrow. You never know, who we're going to pitch tomorrow. I don't know, whoever. But at least, we didn't get that opportunity. But it's not a whole lot you can say. They're going to hear it a little bit, but we'll talk again when we get back.
Matt Byrne, Democrat Gazette. Yeah, Dave, there was 10 minutes of silence right there where you're sitting on the dugout bench. I mean, what were you just thinking?
Yeah, a lot of things, feeling bad for Charles because, I could see him out there so emotional and everybody hugging on him. And it's not his fault. We wouldn't have got here without Charles Davelin. We wouldn't even come close. The guy got so many clutch hits, started so many rallies. I mean, you probably take 10 wins off of our SEC. I mean, he was unbelievable. And just watching those guys and how they didn't want to leave. And, you can get mad at the game. The game's the game. I mean, things happen. I mean, there's so many plays throughout the game where you could get a hit here, make a pitch there, or play there, and the game changes. And then we got down to the end of the game, they got the big hit. We got a couple big hits. They got a couple big hits. And I was just thinking, and I told Coach Hobbs, I said, man, this game, it will eat your lunch if you let it. And you just got to, you just got to learn from everything you do. And you get better at it. It's like life, man. It's just a roller coaster. But you control it. and you got to learn from your mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you're not smart. That's the way I look at it.
Jackson Fuller, Southwest Times Record. Dave, I was wondering if you could walk us through just two decisions. Did you consider at all going to Gibbler against Brown in the 6th, and then maybe were you considering walking Jarrett Jones in the 9th there?
We weren't going to take Gackle out at that time, so we weren't thinking about going to him. That was just a clutch hit. I just got to give him credit. What was your second question?
Were you considering potentially walking Jarrett Jones in the 9th?
I mean, right on right, I don't think so. I mean, we didn't feel like that it was something we needed to do. I mean, hindsight's 20/20. We could talk about all the ifs and buts until we're sick of each other. Yes.
Jacob Runder, Baseball America. Were you able to have a conversation yet with Chuck and to see a player go through that? I mean, how difficult is that?
Yeah, I went down and he finally made it to the bench just before I came up here, and he's pretty distraught. But I just told him straight. I started telling him that how much I appreciated him, and we would never have made it here without him. And he said that he was sorry, and I said, "Don't tell me you're sorry. You don't have to tell me you're sorry." And then he said it again. And, I mean, it's tough. I mean, that kid doesn't have to be sorry for anything. He was our glue, man. He held it together.
Hi, Dave. Peter Burnett from the Council Bluffs Nonpareil. Coach Johnson was talking about just the respect he has for you and for the program. Can you just talk about the respect that you share with him and just being able to share this stage with him? I mean, really the ultimate game aside from the finals themselves.
Yeah, I mean, he does a great job. He's a tireless worker. It's a tough place to coach, high expectations, just like in Fayetteville, and he handles it well. We've talked many a times off the field, and I appreciate him, complimenting us and our program, and I feel the same way about their program. They're one of the top programs in the country year in and year out. Great fan base, a lot of support, and that's why they've got 7 national championships, and they're working on an 8th.
Andrew Riddell, College Baseball Central. Coach, what does this say about your team that when the game was over, their first instinct was to go check on Chuck and Cam?
Yeah, I mean, that's just what we've seen for months now. They really care about each other, and just kind of what I've said. They knew we wouldn't be here without him. We didn't lose the game because of him. We lost the game because we didn't score earlier in the game, or we didn't make a pitch, or we didn't make a play, and we lost. One play might be something that stands out, but there's a lot of things going at 27 outs, So I appreciate the team going out and taking care of him and comforting him, and that just shows you how much they respect him and how much they appreciate him.
Harrison Fan, SEC Unfiltered. Coach, this team, you've coached a lot of really special and talented teams. What has this one meant to you from a standpoint of just not only how the season went, but just the guys in the team and kind of the culture, everything that surrounds that?
Yeah, this is one of the top teams I've ever coached, on and off the field. Just being around them, it's funny. I've been doing it for a while, and people will say things to me like, the kids have really changed over the years, and I always say, no, they haven't. And they're good. They just want to know that you care about them. And yeah, it's tough, man. Kids are good, man. I love being around them. That's why I do it.
Dave, you mentioned you weren't going to pull Gackle there, so I'm guessing you expected to get some length from him. Kind of what were you expecting to get from him tonight, and just what did you make of his performance?
Just what we got, 40 to 50 pitches. He could have gone back in the ninth. It's like I told him, it's not worth it. Man, you got your whole career ahead of you, and you might get 3 outs on 9 pitches. I can't send him back out there. Coach Hobbs and I felt the same way. That's enough. And, that's enough. And, he would have gone back out if we'd have said, hey, you got another one in you? What else is he going to say? Yeah, I'm good. No, we had to make that decision. And I'd make it again. It's not fair. It's not fair to him. He gives us everything he has. He's got a bright future, and it's just what you do.
Christina Long, WholeHogSports.com. You've been here before, Dave, where your season ends with kind of some heartbreakers when you've got 2 outs in the ninth. Just what are the first steps to actually moving on from that and looking ahead to trying to get it back here?
Yeah, in the back of your head, you're always thinking about next year, throughout the season with recruiting, who you have in your program. What are you going to do when the season's over? You're going to have those conversations with players. You just learn how to do it. It's just what you do, and you start fighting to get back here. Every time we have recruits in the fall, and then you're thinking about when they get here down the road and how that's going to fill in there, and then we lose one in the draft, and we lose that one in the draft, and then we get one out of the portal, and then here we go. And then when school starts, that's what you got, and you hope you got enough. You hope they like each other. You hope they like to play. There's so many new kids nowadays. You don't bring a lot of freshmen in. You have until their 3rd year. You develop them. It's just different now, but you either have to embrace it or you do something else, and I'm embracing it. So, I have a lot of good memories for this team, and that's what I'm going to try to think about most of the time. Obviously, there's a little bit of what ifs and heartbreak, but I'm excited for these kids in about a month to get drafted, because there's going to be a lot of them leave our program. I'd say 8 to 10 of them will be drafted pretty high. So that's exciting. Makes you proud. But you're always looking to the future. You're always looking to a year down the road, 2 years down the road. And, we've been on the phone a lot up here with kids that we're trying to get to come visit us when our season's over. And so we'll be on the phone probably tomorrow, getting them lined up.
Jake McKeever, College Baseball Central coach. It's always tough to reflect in a moment like this, but was there a point in the season where you felt like this team had enough to get it to Omaha?
Oh, yeah. I felt like in the fall, towards the end, I thought this team, if we stay healthy, we'll be in the top of the league. We'll be in the top 4 or 5. And if we have a couple guys come on, we would definitely have an opportunity to play in Omaha. You never know how the regionals are going to go, super regional, who you're matched up against, and how the team's playing, and who's, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that maybe the fans don't know. Injury, sickness, ready to go do something else, thinking about pro ball or whatever. You got to try to keep it all together so you can fight your way through. And then during the season, I told them, and we don't talk about getting to Omaha. We just kind of expect it. We're going to fight to get there. And I don't try to bring it up, dwell on it. I don't want to put that pressure on them. But I told them a couple of times down the stretch that your last game needs to be in Omaha. And so I told them after tonight. I said, you guys did what you deserve. You got what you deserve. You got to finish up here. It just wasn't exactly the way we wanted it to go down.
That'll conclude our press conference tonight, Coach. We appreciate your time.
All right, then.
Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Appreciate you, man. Yep.